that's a pause 5 life right there, Waffle. Alright, so we are gonna get into the second game very shortly, but once again, if you're still here, thank you for joining us. Don't know who's actually watching, to be honest, but whoever's here, thank you so much. And yeah, we're gonna hop straight into the second game. First game, Toxic Angels just completely rolled away with the game, right? We talked about it all along. It's literally just non-stop aggression, pedal to the metal, no days off. Reckless just running them down, and our era. We're gonna see whether they are gonna try and answer this draft specifically, or whether Toxic Angels they're still gonna try and run with the same thing, right? Because I don't feel like you can kind of catch them with the pants down like that a second time, because yes, you kind of fall prey to it because you have such a greedy draft, PL, Tinker, and the Sand King to a certain extent. But now I think you're gonna draft a little bit more conservatively. Not that that's the thing, right? Not that the IO era draft was bad. It was actually really good in my opinion. Like they didn't really have a lot of catch for Emmy. But then like you take so much time to farm up, and meanwhile the entire side of Toxic Angels is just running a riot all over your map. They opt for the first phase Tusk ban in response. Ooh, okay. I'm not 100% sure that Tusk was the issue there, but I mean he definitely played his role well. He definitely played it well. So much so to the point where they're like, yo, we don't want to deal with that shit. They banned it out. Meanwhile, OD and Spirit Breaker ban, pretty standard stuff from Toxic Angels. Here comes the Treant Protector though. A bit of an adjustment already from Toxic Angels. Definitely not a hero that can enable as much aggression. A lot more static, a lot more opts to play a lot more around the lanes rather than just running into your jungle or running into your opponent's side of the map and just running a rampage, right? So maybe a bit of an adjustment already, and IO era. Not sure if they are, or at least they should see this as a adjustment already. It's still up for the first pick Sand King though for DZ Bug, deciding that isn't the issue. Of course, when you pick this early Sand King, you can open him up to very rough lanes, right? Of course, Treant Protector versus Sand King in lane is a bit of an odd one. It's really just about like whether you can force him out early on, because Treant Protector can't actually stand in the sandstorm, right? But if you can lay down the Nature's Grass and get the heal off from Leech Seed before the Sand King just like engages onto you, then that's where it's a bit better. They opt for the Jakiro pick. Most likely gonna be the Shang-Chi hero on the position 4. Also, I guess could be Neutral Creep Hotel on the 4. No, sorry, Shang-Chi on the 5, Neutral Creep Hotel on the 4. But yeah, Jakiro, very strong laner, so can stand up against this tree, and Macropire as well can clear out whatever tree line that Tria's trying to play in. Obviously, not that's gonna be a fringe use of it, but just a solid laner overall to sort of round out their. Ooh, okay. So early on, we already see a bit of a combo potential coming out from the side of Toxic Angels. They could do some nasty overgrowth into Cataclysm shit right here. That's the only thing I see these two heroes kind of synergizing in though. Invoker very early mid pick from the side of Toxic Angels, but I mean, seeing as Elegance is the drafter, right, and he's also presumably the position 1, that's the typical boss 1 captain thing. You just leave the last pick carry for yourself, right? They decide to ban the Wraith King as well as the Spectre once again, so both heroes that can kind of just shrug off whatever Treant Protector's trying to do, and can farm up and push these waves. Or rather, just find the Treant Protector and find the Invoker wherever they are with the Blink Initiate or the Haunt, right? And yeah, can ban out with the Sand King as well. The Wraith King Jakiro lane is rather scary if I do say so. But another Zeus ban, so maybe this is just an IO error, like they don't like to have a Zeus against their Sand King. That's just their executive decision, right? So they ban it out, or maybe they just don't like playing against Zeus entirely. They ban out the Sven as well. So similar bans, so obviously not very associated with the. Yeah, this is something to look more and more like targeted bans, right? Because we saw the Spectre ban alongside the Faceless Void as well. Maybe this is a ban from acquiring Relic special. And Sven and Ursa as well. Maybe this is Elegance's hero pool that we're looking at right here. The Toxic Angels, they're picking really quick though. They know exactly what they want. They have a game plan coming in, which is cool to see. Night Stalker is the ban out from IO era, and understandably so. There's already so much sort of. I don't know how to explain what Treant Protector and Invoker bring, but they are exactly the type of heroes that would benefit from a Night Stalker, right? The vision, someone on the front line, someone just running people down, and then you get to cast your spells onto him or like your opponents. Yeah, exactly. Legion Commander being that front runner that they need, the person to lead the charge per se, the reckless hero, shall we say, as he had done time and time again throughout that game. Just really lead the charge and give Toxic Angels this spear, like the tip of the spear to play around, right? He's running in, he's snowballing in. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work out, but at the end of the day, you get full vision of the opponents, you get somebody who's tanking a lot of the spells on the front line, and then Treant Protector can Living Armor, Invoker can Sunstrike, the duel, right? That's the combo that they're looking at right now. And the Dispel as well, very good against the Jakiro, right? So the Jakiro can't really ever harass you out, because as soon as he commits a Liquid Fire and the Dual Breath, then you just press the attack and then it's off. But a Punch Pick, ooh, this is some spicy stuff. I can't imagine where this might be, but it's pretty interesting lineup so far. I don't know who is the call. All I know for sure is that this is more than likely offlane LC. I hope. I don't know. This is looking spicy to me. Yeah, IO era, I honestly, if it was me, I'd be scratching my head too. I'm not really sure what they're going for, but they opt for a Life Stealer. That is interesting to say the least, because I feel like when you have a Life Stealer, you want to rage TP. And you want to capitalize on that, and you want to be up against heroes that you press rage and you're like easy clap. So the reason why they pick Life Stealer is because they want this Sand King Infest Bomb, right? And they have this Ogre Life Stealer lane, it's gonna be very strong. But you have Overgrowth, Duel, and Dismember. Right, okay, so the logic here is that, okay, Dismember, Duel, or Overgrowth, or we have Ice Path, or we have Ogre Magi or Sand King to try and break that up. But I do feel like this is gonna be a really difficult game for Life Stealer to play. Tiny and Necro bands coming out. Necro would have been pretty interesting. Yeah, Necro, they actually can't do anything to Necro foes here. So that's a very nice band coming out from Toxic Angels. If they pick Necro, it's just like this iron wall that they can't actually kill, right? It's a Tinker band from the Toxic Angels, so they don't want to play against enemies. I mean, they have considerably a lot more pick, right? But their heroes feel a bit clunkier. LC needs the blink to try and catch people. Pudge needs the blink as well. And the Treant is going to be in the trees, but as long as you kind of just like stay linearly away from them, in between your team and their, like if you stay behind your team, then you'll always be fine. They end up banning out the Jug, which it's a respect ban for sure of the Elegance, and it's gonna be a Slada. What? This could be a Slada or LC POS 1, but this lineup is looking really scary yet again from the Toxic Angels. I mean, if this is the type of draft that Toxic Angels brings to every game, right, I might need to start watching every single Toxic Angels game, because this shit is spicy, dog. Like I mean, and they made it work too. So this is cool as fuck. I don't know what you respond with IO era. Of course, you have a lot of reserve time, but they're not even gonna need it. They picked Timbersaw. Oh, this is a nice Timbersaw game. This is a nice ass Timbersaw game. It's gonna be Emmy dies alone on the mid Timbersaw. Really cool here. Oh, actually, Ronin Swanson, if he's playing the Invoker, this could actually be... Yeah, it's a mid Pudge instead, so I don't know what the Pudge do. What is the Pudge Timbersaw mid matchup, bro? I don't fucking know. But it's gonna be Elegance on that carry Slada, so a lot on the back of Emmy yet again. Has to do a lot for her team here, and I don't know how much the rest of them can do. Of course, I think early on the lanes are gonna look a lot better for IO era this time round, and they're gonna be able to come out ahead. Of course, that's before Toxic Angels, if they can hit their mid-game timing yet again. They're just gonna run right all over the side of IO era, but Timbersaw is gonna have to be this Bastion yet again. Just this fucking meat shield in the middle and just slice anyone who tries to come close. But we're gonna have to see whether that comes to fruition as we get into Game 2 of Toxic Angels versus IO era here. Game 1 saw Toxic Angels just completely roll over IO era, but we're gonna see whether they can fire back here with a 1-1 or whether it's gonna be yet another rollover from this Elegance carry Slada on the side of... Okay, sorry, camera settings. There we go. On the side of Toxic Angels, we have Waffle Eats Pancake on this Treant, actually going for the exact same starting build on his Treant and the Ogre. We have Joker on the mid punch, not something you see very often, but definitely can lay in the hurt if played well. Elegance on this position 1 Slada, and Reckless on the pos 3 LC. Last but not least, we have Rodin Swanson. Very nicely decked out Invoker set for him. He's actually going for Exalt Invoker support. I don't know what they're doing, but I like it. And on the side of IRL, of course, we have Neutral Creep Hotel now on the position 4 Jakiro instead of... I thought this was going to be position 5, but I didn't really have that hot of a game. Hopefully you can turn that up in second game. Shang-Ti on the Ogre, taking that from Waffle Eats Pancake. DZ Bug reprising his role on the Sand King and banned from acquiring relics on that Life Stealer position 1. It's going to be a very hard game for him, but he's going to have to, you know, the Infest Bomb hopefully can take them all the way there. Last but not least, Woman of the Hour, Emmy dies alone. Had a really tough game to play on that Tinker earlier on, but hopefully she can kind of just really slice through all those 4 strength cores on the side, all those 4 strength heroes on the side of the Angels here. As it looks like it's just gonna be a very typical 2-for-2 trade, no shenanigans here, no early rune fights. It's important to point out that the side of Toxic Angels, they do need some time to get online, right? They're not just like the immediate run at you, will kill you kind of draft. Of course, the first indicator of that will be this patch, whether he goes for a blink or whether he goes for like phase boots or some sort of mobility or ganking item, as he's gonna have the mid lane farm and the levels, right? So it's gonna be on him first to see what he can do, and then from there it might be the Reckless Blink or the Reckless Armlet or the Elegance Mask of Madness or something like that. But yeah, this should be a pretty easy lane for Emmy, provided she doesn't get hooked into tower. Actually opting for the Reactive Armor level 1, so I'm not really sure I don't play this matchup, so I would have no clue. But yeah, the Whirling Death is what you're gonna be looking for. Yeah, trading relatively even so far. I think there's gonna be significantly less action here, but if there's any action, it should be in the bot lane. Between DZ Bug and Jakiro, they have a Neutral Creep Hotel. They have so much damage they can pump into this Slada. And Slada really good against melee heroes, but Sand King with the Caustic, that's not something you can really go up against. They're gonna have to try and pull the lane back into a good position with Waffle Eats Pancake to hopefully catch the Jakiro out of position, and that's what they're trying to do right now. You need to be careful. They have the crush, get there on the Neutral Creep Hotel, but yeah, so this is what they need to do, right? DZ Bug can't offer up a lot in these early stages because he went Caustic first, so Neutral Creep Hotel has to be so careful here on this Jakiro. Immediately sells up already. Yeah, I honestly expected this patch to have a bit of a worse time in the mid lane, but I guess the early levels in Whirling Death, not the end of the world for him. Still can pull the creep wave back, and mid lane, such a linear lane, right? So little space to work with, so you're always going to be able to get the creeps. It's kind of hard for you to be walled out, unless you're against a Viper or something like that. They're actually running onto Reckless here, doesn't have the pressy attacks to work with, and they're going to turn around. Rodin Swanson laying in the damage with this level 1 Exalt. So much auto attack damage coming out, they need to be careful. Banned from acquiring relics, he's gonna be A-okay though, and the Salve is there to keep the carry alive. Nicely done. Very quiet early game compared to what we had in game number 1, because game number 1 was just, I don't know, like, kills back and forth, 5-minute mark, already like 12 kills and stuff like that. But yeah, laning stage, going a bit more even this time. DZ Bug in a bit of a better lane for, oh, okay, slight miss on the dual breath there, not the end of the world. Has the Barrel Strike to work with though. They actually didn't. Oh, 2-man Barrel Strike, nice. Some nice harass coming out. But DZ Bug now he needs to be careful. The slows from Elegance as well as the bashes has it available. They're gonna bash down DZ Bug. First blood is claimed by Elegance, and Waffle Eats Pancake. Is he gonna tank the death for that? Yes, he is. Neutral Creep Hotel answers back. But you need to be so careful against this lineup or this lane, right? Because, like I said, if you get caught in the Nation's Grasp to use your Barrel Strike, you can't actually get out. Yeah, I'm really surprised that Joker is still doing so well in terms of... I punched my microphone a little. I'm really surprised that Joker is still doing so well in terms of levels, as we see a kill from Rodin Swanson on a ban from acquiring relics. Yeah, he's not going to take out this nice little Exalt Quas build, not what you see very often. But deciding that he doesn't need the Wax, just wants the auto attack damage from the Exalt. Now Shang-Ti in a bit of trouble, but he has the cold stack to work with. The Purge as well, already thrown out the... Okay, the stun, is it enough? Rodin Swanson heating up so much from the triple quas. But yeah, it's not enough to deal with this pesky Ogre. 7 armor at level 1, you're not cutting through that. But another kill, another form of bout of aggression in the bot lane. DZ Bug coming forward with the Bow Strike again. And here comes the Sandstorm, but immediately Waffle Eats Pancake had the sentry in the back pocket just punching away, but yeah, without your spells you can't actually stand up to the Jakiro and the Sand King here in the lane, throwing up another warning Dual Breath to scare them off. Yeah, so Shang team, not a lot of mana to work with anymore, they need to be careful. This is what I talked about, right? This Lifestealer, it's kind of a strong lane, but this unorthodox double exalt early on is laying in so much damage into Lifestealer. When it comes to Lifestealer lanes, you want to sustain, right? You want to just stay in the lane and slowly force them out, but in a way, Invoker kind of counteracts that because he has so much damage with the exalt and like healing with the Quas as well. You can't really force this support out. There's one of the supports that Ogre can't just ignite and like laugh at because he just heals all of it up, right? So it's Ogre kind of negligible in this top lane and has to ferry out some more regen in the ways of mana for himself to try and be useful here. But yeah, so very very quiet early on. The one thing about these two teams that I really like is the fact that they didn't draft any hardcore farmers this game, right? Yes, sure, the carries you can argue they're gonna farm up, but no one farming stacks, no passive like hiding, waiting for a timing. It's literally just run at you and all out brawl. So I like this a lot. Ronin Swanson might have been caught out in a bit of a rough spot here, getting the stun punch immediately, nicely held from Reckless, level 2 on that press the attack. But the Gold Frenzy, the slow, is it enough? Yep, they managed to clear up this Invoker, so perhaps a bit too far forward with not a lot of HP to work with there. And has to be a bit more careful on Ronin, they can still very much get the kills if Shang-Chi has mana, of course. In this mid lane though, Emmy dies alone and Joker, still relatively even. Throwing out the Chakram now, level 6, they have to be so careful of one another, the Dismember as well, but doing so little damage. Here comes the Whirling Death as well, but she actually has opted for the reactive armor high level, so I would be surprised if she doesn't like try and keep this alive, right? But the punch, is he gonna just hook it? Yeah, he should, but okay, he doesn't get it in time, opting for the Water Rune instead, and Emmy can actually just tack on the reactive armor stacks and then just push this catapult in, and they're gonna have to bring a lot of people to try and defend this tower, right? Yeah, I think that would be so insane from Emmy, because then you have to drag people away and completely break up the lanes for them. And okay, a kill onto DZ Bug yet again. It's the Slada Trian combo. 2 levels in Nature's Grass just slowing them nearly enough, and 3 levels in Bash. Neutral Creep Hotel, he's taking so much damage. The last bash into, last crush into the last bash. More than enough. Yeah, but nicely, I don't know whether that was intentional from Joker, but he drags the aggro off the catapult wave, keeping his tower nearly alive. Because, oh, okay, another kill on the Ronin Swanson in the top side. The aggression starting to ramp up from the top lane of IO Era here. But yeah, I mean, Emmy dies alone. The thing about Timbersaw is that you can create a lot of pressure in the lanes, right, by forcing people out. But because mid lane is such a small lane, you usually want to capitalize on your high levels of reactive armor to push in that catapult and create tower pressure that way. Even in the off lane, that's the only way Timbersaw can really pressure towers, if not it takes so long. But having that catapult die means that it's going to be another few minutes before Emmy can really do anything here. I mean, Joker, he's not really under any threat. He can just kind of, yeah, wait for the wave to crash into him, farm away, and get those items out. It's going to be interesting to see what he goes for his first item, because completed the face boots. Oh, another kill. This bot lane is starting to run away with it. Elegance has that level 6, so they spot out DZ Bug here. Where's the chase? The spells are not there, and they're going to relent. A nice little kill yet again. The bot lane is starting to fall apart here. Managed to make it look a little bit more even this time, but they're just starting to chain the kills with Waffle Eats Pancake along with Elegance. Throwing out their spells is too much for them to bear. Topside though, Ronin Swanson being chased down by a Shang-Chi without mana. It's just a little bit of a tussle in the top lane. Could just turn around and cancel the clarity, actually. But there's an out for it. Yeah, so leaving a 1v1 in the top side, that's where Lifestealer thrives, right? We see the Ghoul Frenzy coming into play. Even though you have the Moment of Courage level 3, it's not nearly enough, and it doesn't proc nearly enough to counteract the Lifestealer's yeah, the healing that he gets from Feast as well as Ghoul Frenzy. This should have revealed the ward there. Doesn't have a level in Wax, so he can't actually Ghost Walk out. Throws out the Cold Snap for his troubles, but a nice little pickup from Ben from acquiring relics. A lot better of a start than we expected from him here. But that should be telling for Ronin Swanson, right? Because he tossed the Ignite from over here. So if they have vision here, it should mean there's a ward in this area. We'll see whether they get the reward out, but Emmy dies alone. Hot on Joker's trail. Where is the last bit of damage. It's there, Emmy with another solo kill to start off her lane. Of course, it's already 8 minutes in, but this is what we expected to see, right? This is why you pick that Timbersaw to completely roll over these strength cores. But I mean, you take a look at the last hits and denies, of course, still very even in terms of net worth, but meanwhile, DZ Bug falls again in the bot lane, and they're not even done. Neutral Creep Hotel gonna be the next one. The sprint move speed is enough, and Elegance off to a hot start yet again. They're really gonna need Emmy here sooner or later because these guys, this Slara is starting to run a riot here. As the Gloves of Haste, so might be looking towards Midas actually. But here comes the TPC. They want to deal with Emmy here. But do they have enough damage? Emmy needs to be careful. Where is the Timber Chain? The hook is there! And it's not enough. Can't get out in time. Slightly indecisive with where to go with the Timber Chain and ends up paying the price to Joker, which is a huge kill for them. Yeah, getting to nail this Timbersaw down so early on, that's pretty significant. And Emmy, that's going to be 16 seconds that she's not putting on pressure, which is so important for this Timbersaw, right? DZ Bug has to be careful here. Facing up Elegance. Okay, DZ Bug. Channeling up the Epi, but the stun is there. DZ Bug! Just getting squashed by Elegance. Just smacked down over and over. You can't come to this lane anymore. They have a sentry in the middle of the lane. Once they tag you with that Corrosive Haze, it's over. And just like in the first game, even though it traded pretty evenly early on, things are starting to fall apart, it seems, for the side of IO Era. They're not really... It doesn't really seem like they know what to do breaching into this post-laning stage situation. Joker has rotated to the top side, trying to get a pick, gets a courier for his troubles instead, and banned from acquiring relics. Still a ways away from that. Yeah, from that armlet. Top of the net worth, of course, Elegance yet again, and Emmy dies alone, not too far behind with Joker, keeping it even. The rest still, yeah, banned from acquiring relics, even though he has that decent lane. It's not like he can really power farm up, right? Looks like there's some action in the mid lane though. The Nature's Grass thrown out. You need to be careful of the duel, especially Joker coming in. There's a hook available. Latches it onto Shang-Ti. Tried to dodge but couldn't make the distance. The overgrowth completed as well, which is quite interesting. But the duel is there, and that's first duel damage of the game. 10 in. Emmy needs to be careful. Doesn't have as high levels in the Whirling Death as she expects. And the Dismember, so much magic damage coming in. Where is the chain? It's there. Keeps him alive, but the damage over time from Leech Seed is enough. DZ Bug with the stun. A bit too little too late perhaps. And Emmy is going to die yet again on this Timbersaw. And really, it all comes back to the lanes, right? Like, they sort of made it look a bit more even this time. But once again, the side of Toxic Angels just firing on all cylinders here. Elegance and the Trio Protector, just such a difficult lane for this Sand King to be up against. And yeah, now almost finishing that armlet, and Reckless is going to be such a threat. Most likely gonna be able to get these solo kills. To be a bit careful here. Use Battle Strike already. Emmy, where is the Chakram? Out it comes. Here comes the chain as well, but are you a bit too far forward? DZ Bug gonna get hooked up. Sandstorm, but there's a sentry right there. Where is the Whirling Death? Where's the Chakram? Throws it out. Can you get Reckless? Starting to heal up because of the lead seat, but the Timber Chain finishes him off. A full out brawl now. Neutral Creep Hotel. Elegance has shown up to party. Emmy dies alone. Needs to be careful though. The Sunstrike in as well, but the Whirling Death and the Chakram cleans them up with the Timber Chain to slice and dice. But Elegance, he's starting to clean up big time fight, and I feel like this is a repeat of the second game, right? Even though it's a lot less action-packed, like they're starting to clean up, and Elegance, he's just part of these kills and ramping up in a big way. Has this Midas working towards this Echo Saber now, and he's definitely going to scale. This is one of the issues of course Lada, right? You're so worried about keeping up in terms of farm because this is not a hero that farms very naturally, and now he just has this Midas and he's ramping up. Almost 6k gold now. Looking towards this Lifestealer now. Spots him out. Can't really do much though. Looking towards the mid lane now though. Joker under some fire. Here comes the spells coming out. The epicenter as well, but already a completed hood. A stun to interrupt the Dismember. So nicely done from Shang-Ti there, holding the spells, but DZ Bug doesn't have nearly enough damage to work with. And the hook as well. Joker with the heals from and the shields from Hood of Defiance. Now Shang-Ti caught in between a bit of a rough spot. Joker barely taking any damage from his own rod. Still standing so nicely, and they want to give the dual damage to Reckless. Can they get in time? Yes they can. 20 dual damage on the deck, and meanwhile their tower just stays alive. They can't chip away against this Trio Protector. It's starting to look like it's falling apart here for the side of IO Era. 6k gold up now for the side of Toxic Angels, and they're starting to run away with it a little bit. Armlet completed by Reckless as well. They need to be so careful. They could just duel onto just about anyone here and Joker on the sidelines. I do want to say I really like the warding coming out here. They managed to get a sneaky ward, spotting out the ancient stack that most likely Reckless is going to want to clean up, and or not Reckless, sorry, Elegance is going to want to clean up, and a nice little ward in the top side, but they haven't really been able to capitalize on it. They need this mid, they need this tower in the bot side and the mid, but Waffle just been on point with the heals, slightly off the mark with that Timber Chain there. Use completed on Emmy. Probably can try and keep herself alive a bit longer. Reckless standing guard on this tower, and Waffle is Pancake behind him as well, has the Overgrowth to work with. The barrel struck up, DZ Bug forward, but here comes the Overgrowth. Where is the follow-up though? They're just trying to run away. Has the stick to work with, but gotta be alive. And now the chase is on. Elegance with the hook. Elegance, yeah, the hook out from Joker, not even needed. They finish off the Sand King, and once again, it feels like the Sand King just not working out for them. They first picked this hero, but unable to secure his farm in the lane, and from there it's just... Does he have the blink? Oh no, he doesn't. He's still 1.1k away from it, and without the blink, now he's opting for the Lotus, but how are you gonna stand up and fight to these heroes? And Joker, just free way to work towards the X, doesn't even need the blink actually. Coming forward, they have vision on Joker here, but they might have just revealed the ward. DC doesn't have a blink to work with, but the hook a bit too far forward. The Barrel Strike is there though. Where is the follow-up damage? The epicenter coming out. Have they just done enough here to Joker? The Triad Protector Living Armor is there, but it's not enough. Magic damage out the wazoo for them, and they're starting to pressure up on this tower. Here comes the Sunstrike, it's enough! DC Bug called out by the Nature's Grasp, slowed out Ronin Swanson, nicely done from him. This is a support Exort Invoker of all things, coming in and striking down that Sand King. Not something you see every day, but... They spot out Waffle Eats Pancake here thanks to this nice deep ward. When it comes to Reckless, they need to be careful, and the Living Armor as well, level 4. Nice path off the mark here. Chakram being thrown up, but Ronin Swanson, he's coming in. He wants to fight with the Forge Spirits. Two Forge Spirits. This is so cool. This is such a cool build from him actually. Yeah, and they're just making it work. Joker has respawned now, and that means they can't continue to breach this tower. It's just gonna slowly get killed up by Waffle Eats Pancake. This feels like the dream Triad Protector game, right? You have your opponents just trying so hard to push down your tower. Meanwhile, your core is just farming away freely. Halfway through, not halfway through, but working towards that Shadow Blade now. And I mean, banned from acquiring relics, yes, he's working his way towards the S and Y, but look at his net worth. It's not comparable to Elegance's. Yeah, the heal's coming out yet again. This tower is just coming high and high HP, and DC Bug, you're level 8 against a level 11 tree, and you have the Overgrowth to work with. It's okay. The hook away, but still manages to land the Meteor Hammer onto all of them, and Reckless with the duel out and the Sunstrike, they managed to finish it off. Emmy trying to get Waffle Eats Pancake on the sidelines. This is a very high level Triad Protector. Okay, Timber Chain coming in. It's a Triad versus a... Okay, misses it as well. Meanwhile, Elegance cleaning up on the backline. Still trying to get that Triad Protector. Finally gets it for troubles, but that is 3 down on the deck. Elegance once again coming in to clean up. Pick pull forward. Can he get the Corrosive Haze? Yes, he can. Hot on the tail of Emmy. Use herself up, which is quite interesting, but the hook sets up for it, and the Dismember. That is not where you wanted to be, my friend, and it ends up being a 4-for-nothing trade. Elegance starting to fire off right now. 9.5k net worth, and it's not looking pretty for the side of IO Era over here. 22-9. Reckless as well, starting to wrap up that dual damage. Has he stayed a bit too long though? The Ice Buff into the stun and the FPS, you have to press the attack. But where's the heals? Is it enough? No, it's not. Magic damage, like we said, is the strong suit of this lineup, and they pump it through. DZ manages to get the D1 here, so very nicely done for him. You need to be careful yet again. Waffle Eats Pancake, he's here to defend his tower he holds so dear. Trying to lay in the damage with the Liquid Fire, but once again, you're up against this Triad Protector with the max living armor. Not much you can do here. Ronin Swanson as well. Might want to try and set up here, but Joker is here to play. You need to be careful. Could throw a hook out. Ice Buff out. Joker, have you wanted a bit too far forward? Where's the backup? The punch just gets melted down, and Waffle Eats Pancake, no Overgrowth to work with. The magic damage more than enough from them, and they're starting to push the issue here. Emmy dies alone. They need to be careful. Here comes Reckless. Is there a duel available? Ice Buff up, stun as well. The Meteor not in time for the duel, at least stunned up, and they're starting to run away. Elegance, he's in the river though. He could chase down this Ogre, but opts not to. They'll be happy if keeping their tower alive. Joker has to pay the price for it though. It's a very big kill from the side of IO Era. The Ice Path's a bit off the mark from Neutral Creep Hotel this game, but might be a bit of lag going on, or maybe just a miscomm, maybe expecting the Barrel Strike to come out to set it up. You need to be so careful here because the combos from Ronin as well as Reckless, yes, they have the stuns, but so much damage and control coming out from this Invoker potentially. And it feels like this entire past 10 minutes has just been played in front of this mid tower and never had to move the camera anywhere else. As, yes, this Lifestealer's farming up, but it's such a slow ramp up compared to Elegance, who's farming the enemy triangle, has the Shadow Blade to work with as well. I heard a Barrel Strike going in onto Reckless, the Sunstrike as well, the Overgrowth right on top of their head, doesn't get the dual damage, but has the Overgrowth into the Meteor Hammer. There's so much damage onto Emmy, manages to get the use up though, but Elegance, he's starting to work that backline. Neutral Creek Hotel gonna fall to the bash, and Emmy manages to get out scot-free, but her teammates not so lucky. DZ Bug, once again, you have to wonder, starting to look more like a support than an offlaner. A nice little try to dodge out that Ignite, but doesn't manage to Elegance with that Shadow Blade Fade time. But yeah, DZ Bug, this Sand King just not working out. It has the Blink Dagger now, but at this point you don't offer nearly enough damage, and they're starting to turn the push right on its head. Now it's the side of Toxic Angels who are coming forward. DZ Bug blink forward with the stun though, but you don't have anything else up to offer. Reckless has to do it, and they need to be so careful. Joker now on the sidelines being caught out. The hook is there onto Shang-Chi. Dismember as well, but DZ Bug bashed up and killed within 2 hits. That Sand King just disintegrated the EMP, gonna take away the mana. Emmy nothing to work with now, and Reckless with the duel up, they're starting to clean up. Emmy now has the use to keep herself alive, but it's only gonna be momentary as she gets bashed down and killed. Elegance leading the charge, Reckless as well. Sure, they tanked the Joker death for it, but once again, they've shown on the side of Toxic Angels, they don't care, they just want to run you down. And I was saying, man, this Trian, a bit more static, but it works out perfectly for him if all you want to play is in front of this mid tower. He's just been able to heal this up straight up to full. Oh no. Things are starting to fall apart here for the side of IO Era yet again, and IO Era fans, you might have to close your eyes. This is not looking cute. Elegance gets a kill on the carry. And you drafted him this super hard Lifestealer game where he can't power farm up, and I feel like the last time we looked, he was finishing up this S and Y and he still hasn't had it completed. Might be on the courier. But yeah, kills just happening, starting to ramp up now. The Overgrowth as well, keeping Shang-Chi in place, but the follow-up isn't there. Emmy dies alone. Could get a return here, but the Blink duel up. Shang-Chi most likely gonna fall, but Emmy trying to get a kill up onto Reckless. Where is the follow-up? Ice Path not available at the moment. Chakram available as well, but Ice Path off the mark again. Reckless starting to juke away, but Timber Chain is there, and Emmy starting to clean up. Elegant, so he's in the Shadow Blade. Needs to be careful. He's gonna have a sentry to spot it out, but yeah, doesn't want to tempt fate there. Knows that he doesn't need to go in for no reason. Shadow, Silver Edge completed, guys. Silver Edge completed. I don't know about this one. This is starting to look like it's starting to fall apart here. Elegance level 19 on this Slata. It's so damn scary. And Emmy dies alone here. He needs to be so careful. At any point in time, we saw how fast it took for DZ Bug to just pop. Joker gets the haste, but immediately purged. Nice patience there from Emmy. But here comes Elegance. DZ Bug with the stun though. Can they follow up? No, it's gonna be DZ Bug caught out because there's a sentry right there in the mid lane. He's dusted up though, so they need to be a bit careful. But yeah, Joker with the bait. Aghanim Scepter now completed, so there's gonna be even more just damage and HP to work through on this punch. And banned from acquiring relics. I don't know how he's gonna do it up against 4 BKB piercing disables and a bash. Here comes Reckless though, wants to get the duel in. Neutral Creep Hotel, where is the follow-up? The use up to keep this Shakiro alive for now. The stun as well. 4 stuff out. Reckless doesn't manage to latch it, but Emmy dies alone. She's gonna be the trade hooked in by Joker and wheeled into her death. Waffle Eats Pancakes has the overgrowth on 2. They finally get Neutral Creep Hotel, but here comes the epicenter. Too little, too late. Is it from DZ Bug? The stun out, but they don't see him now. Banned from acquiring relics, starting to kid away. Do you have the damage? This is gonna be a huge kill if they get this Lada, and they do. That's a huge kill on the side, and banned from acquiring relics now. He's trying to do the damage. They have this Dismember to work with though, turning it around. Where is the follow-up from Joker? Doesn't have a blink to work with. The rock as well, but it's not nearly enough damage. That is huge for the side of IO Era. They need this Lifestealer involved in the fights, and he managed to get a double kill for himself and slows down this Slada as well. So now this life stealer is gonna start to ramp up. I think he okay, needs to be careful. Meteor hammer. I'm not gonna latch it. Waffle his pancake. Spot out by this sentry. I'm pretty sure that life stealer was wary to what's going on there. But yes, this is exactly what you need from your life stealer. You need this man to be at the fights to punish that over aggression from these melee cores who can so easily tank so much damage from him. And he trying to punish his Treant Protector now. Has the flamethrower, the shot doing so much damage, and now the ice path as well on the mark. Shang-Ti doesn't even need the stun, but throws it out anyway, cleans up the kill onto that Treant Protector. A bit too far forward for his own good. They spot out Reckless here though, DZ Bug with the initiate, with the stun, but like that press the attack isn't gonna do much against the flamethrower. A bit too far forward on that. Okay, Cataclysm. Yeah, used up to keep themselves alive now, and they need to be careful. Ronin Swanson has the Ghost Walk away, no sentry to speak of. And they managed to get kills here. IO arrow, it looked like it was gonna be over, but it's not yet. DZ Bug stops the hook in from Joker, but the raw damage, it's so wide. It's gonna work now, DZ Bug. The Aghanim's so strong from Joker, and he's still looking for more. Has the blink up in a few seconds, but does he want to tempt fate here? Does he want to go out for more? Meanwhile, Elegance actually manages to kill that life stealer alone in the mid lane. Joker looking for more here, knows he has nothing to be afraid of. Trying to go under this tower, the blink. Is he gonna dice it with a hook? Doesn't even need it. Has the rod damage, but here comes Emmy with the answer, with the whirling death. This is exactly what you picked the Timbersaw for, but here comes the Slaughter. 4 hits and a bash, and it's just about over. Emmy dies alone, has to use out the Slaughter and Timber Chain out. Nothing you can do about this bot lane tower anymore. That is gone, gone, gone. Yeah, 40k, 14k, 40 to 19 right now. Only 25 minutes in. This is starting to look a bit like a massacre, just a tad bit. Not exactly really unconventional stuff coming out here from Toxic Angels, but they're making it work. Here comes the stun zone. DZ Bug gets out to field epicenter onto both supports as well, and they managed to clear up this Treant Protector immediately. They want to get Ronin Swanson, but Shang-Chi being dueled on the back line. Can they clear off this Invoker? Is the damage there? Yes, it is. Chakram is out as well. The use to set up Ice Path off the mark though, but has to press the attack to work with. Does he? Does it even matter because the Barrel Strike is out? Trying to toggle away, but against the damage over time, it's there. Emmy dies alone. Fires straight back. This Timbersaw is starting to hit hard. Wait. I didn't even notice Elegance is just soloing Roche. They might be wary of this though. The ping is coming out and banned from acquiring relics. This could be a disaster if they're not careful. Elegance is most likely gonna throw out the stun, but where is the dust? It's not there. Okay, throws it out, walks back in. And Elegance is gonna fall. This could be the kill that they need. The hook gonna throw him out of the Roche, but only momentarily. Though banned from acquiring relics. If they can get this Aegis, it's so huge, and things just as they build up, they fall apart so quickly from the side of Toxic Angels. This could be the turnaround that they need. Banned from acquiring relics with that Aegis now. Can actually start the fight, and maybe after 27 minutes they can finally take down this mid tower. Yeah, they finally get the mid tower. It only took them like 27 minutes, but against a Treant Protector, a perfect Treant Protector game, it's not easy, right? But really like the vision set up from who is this? Is this Shang-Chi or Neutral People Tell? Gotta check. Yeah, Shang-Chi here, giving them information about the Roche, which is a potential play that they can make, right? And they end up contesting it, punishing the map split from the side of Toxic Angels, and now they're death falling up. They could try and make something happen, but on the wrong side of the map is not on the wrong side of the map, but they're looking at the wrong side of the map right now. The rest of the Toxic Angels are fiending in the top lane. Waffle eats pancakes. Actually has the Holy Locket completed. Pretty interesting build from him now. And Ronin Swanson, we didn't even talk about it, but we saw it come out already. The Cataclysm combination could be so huge in just nailing down these rather immobile heroes like Ogre and Jakiro, and to a certain extent Lifestealer as well if you get overgrowth up or dueled in place. It's so hard to play. DZ Bug starting to make a comeback for himself now. Has the duel available, but they need to be careful because the Punch is. They should know that there's someone here. They see the courier coming in, and in comes the Chakram as well. Immediately, the dismember cancelled out by the Barrel Strike, but the damage so much from this rod. DZ Bug has to be careful here. Doesn't want to walk into that meteor. The disarm doesn't work against this Rage Life Stealer, and Ronin Swanson gonna get cleaned up as well. Meanwhile, on the backline though, they clean up Shang-Ti. Is the dust there? Yes, it is. Ronin Swanson being chakrammed up, being tagged down, and being killed. DZ Bug has to be careful because doesn't have a lot of HP to work with, but he wants to find more for the squad. Probably unadvisable though. They trade 1 for 2, which is pretty good considering it's a mid-patch that they just killed. But you already saw, even with this Timber Saw in the with the percentage strength damage, right? Or the strength steal rather. It's so damn hard to kill this punch. This man has Axe, this man has Crimson Guard, this man has Blast Rig and Hood of Defiance. He's hard to take down, alright, but they managed to kill him. Now it's remains to be seen what else they can find on this map. Elegance, he's had a bit of a quiet past few minutes because he's not really been involved in the fights, and finishing up the AC really putting him past or really, it's a very big ticket item, right? It costs so much, but it doesn't really help you against this lineup. You need a BKB, and we see that now. He's going straight for it. I would have minded an eggs as well. Oh, Reckless with the blink out. Very fast reaction times from him. Thanks to this ward. The use up though, setup from Emmy is there, and the Flamethrower, more than enough, slices down this Treant Protector with the help of the DZ Bug Blink Barrel Strike. And they're starting to get the pickoffs that they need here. 11k gold still up, but it doesn't really matter. It really just depends on the execution of the fights, right? If they can get that nice initiation from DZ Bug, which really a lot is riding on his back over here, they need to get this jump before they themselves get kind of collapsed upon by this team of Toxic Angels here. If Toxic Angels get the jump on them, that opens up the way for Overgrowth, Dismembers, Duels. They come out, and then the Cataclysm on top of the head. The damage is non-stop. But if they can lay out their control, if they can throw out their spells on the side of the IO area here, that's where the fight starts to look good for them. And this Life Stealer can just hit away freely. 1 minute left for the Aegis though, so not sure what they want to do with this. It kind of feels like this has been a farming Aegis for them and not really accelerating the net worth that high. But it's still a net of safety, right? It's still keeping them in this game, delaying the game even further for them to hopefully find that engage that they need. And now the side of the Angels, they're starting to split the map again. Elegance showing the top side, trying to make his way towards that BKB. 1000 gold off only. They could look towards this tower. They have the damage from the Flamethrower. Starting to work through it. Here comes the EMP though, trying to burn some mana. The Yo setup is there from Ronin Swanson. Is there a dust available? The Overgrowth, they have to be so careful because there's a Meteor Hammer. The Cataclysm could come in as well. On the 2. Does he throw it out? No, he doesn't. The Meteor is there on top of the Meteor Hammer, but they managed to get the tower and they get away scot-free. Elegance not able to get in time. The smoke, they should have seen that one. It's gonna break on one of them. If they come too close, Shang-Ti should know they're on the trail. But yeah, they see Elegance thanks to this sentry over here. And Waffle eats pancake, he should know. Puts down the sentry, but a bit misguided here. Yeah, it was a bit of a misleading sense of vision there, but yeah, they're holding this top side. They want to bait the side of Toxic Angels in. Over aggression and map split has been the game, or has the name of the game. And Waffle eats pancake, they're gonna find 2 again onto Joker. There comes the Cataclysm, but it's on the heroes that are aggressing onto your team. Joker is gonna fall shortly after that Treant Protector, and the trap has been laid. Where is the dust? They know Elegance is around. They're trying to inch forward and find him, but they can't. Not nearly in time. He slithers his way out of that sentry. The Tornado catching on the 3 here. This could be the setup that they need. But the Meteor off the mark. Shang-Ti coming forward. The dust as well. You should see Reckless. But the duel up onto this Ogre Magi. What can you do to help him? No, you can't do much, especially with that shot on press the attack. But Elegance is in the middle of it all now. No BKB to work with. Pops it up a little too late. But manages to get that Silver Edge right out of harm's reach. 100 HP. That is so scary. DZ Bug though latches it onto Ronin Swanson. The buyback from this punch manages to get the hook out onto this Ogre who bought back as well. The stun out. Sure, this Ogre might die, but can he set up this kill? Yes, he can for his team. And that is a dieback. 110 seconds from the side from Joker. They can really look to make the moves happen here. My goodness, just in one fell swoop. I don't know, it just kind of feels like they still, Toxic Angels, they still think that they can kind of play the map 2 players at one side, 2 players on the other, and they just can't. They need the full force to fight up against them now. Emmy is so strong with that Kaya Sanj, and the setups have been there from that. Yules questioned it a bit earlier on because wanted to see a bit more tankability from her, but she definitely knows exactly what she's doing with this Timbersaw. Trying to set up a duel here, they need to be careful. Press the attack shark coming forward, but they know Elegance is around in this area. They see him, the Yules up into Ice Pump as well, but he has the BKB 6 seconds cooldown, but the damage starting to come in. Ban from acquiring relics, pops the rage and stun as well. Nicely baited out. Waffle eats pancakes, gonna get knocked down for trying to save his core there. But it could have been way worse. 50 seconds on the sideline still for this patch, no buyback, and they could look towards this bot tower. Of course, the Roche, if they're keeping track, could respawn in around 30 seconds there, but that would be a really early timing for them and really good for the side of IO Era here. But they're going to be happy with this bot tower. Starting to take more space on the map for themselves now, and with that space means more control and more opportunities for them to get those deep wards that we've been commending them about this entire time, right? It's these deep wards that have set up the kill on the Roche. It's this deep ward that has set up this play at the shrine and the outpost rather, and another smoke forward. They want to make something happen here, but the side of Toxic Angels, they know that, you know, this is the timing. This is a timing that they need to be very careful about, because if they can continue to get these kills and moves on the map and snowball the objectives and just bleed kills one by one, they can't actually take the fight anymore. Yes, you can get dual kills on the supports, but how much does it really matter when DZBug is chaining these disables and really just giving free room for this Lifestealer to hit away, right? AC completed as well, essentially gonna negate this Slada's AC himself, and so much needed armor for his side. And one thing we didn't talk about, the Fire Shield as well, gonna mitigate so much of the damage, absorbing 85 of the next 3 attacks. That is huge when you talk about the lineup that relies so much on auto attacks like this Slada. Each bash counts so much, right? And mitigating a flat percentage of that can really go a long way. Trying to do what they can here because they know they are in a position of power. Not a lot of towers to work with though, so it could be the top one that they look at next. But Emmy, once she has this Shiva's Guard completed, she can really start to be such a menace. The AoE slow as well, just to counteract, but the Roche is up and they're looking straight at it. There's not a lot of vision to work with on the side of the Angels here, and they're hiding and they're cowering around their base. They could look for a contest here with a smoke, but yeah, they scan, they know it's coming. But they have such nice vision already set up from the side of, okay, the Cataclysm coming in off the mark there as they all just dodge out of the way. They hear the sound cue. Is it too little, too late? Elegance can't make it in, doesn't have the blink. And just like that, they grab the Roche again. Oh, things are starting to turn around now for the side of, I don't know, is it too much copium to say that they might even be in a good position right now? IO Era not going down without a fight. DZBug at such a horrendous time in this early game as it's Sand King, but it's starting to make these moves count. They should know that there's vision here. They're fighting straight into it. The blinks away as well. They need to be so careful. Reckless pumping up the BKB in advance onto Neutral Creep Hotel, but the answer, the stun onto a BKB target, not exactly what you want, but banned from acquiring relics. Now, gonna get stunned up in the middle of it all. Has that Aegis to work with though. They interrupted the Meteor Hammer Overgrowth combo, but there isn't a Cataclysm to work with. This DZBug Sand King is down, and without their setup, without their initiator, they can't really look to fight. Banned from acquiring relics. He needs to be so careful. The buybacks are there, but the Aegis is lost. This Lifestealer, just when there was a semblance of hope for them, now being dueled up, or rather dismembered up. This Lifestealer, he can't hit away. He's trying to sustain what he can, but they managed to get Elegance on the sidelines here. But this Lifestealer, he's not dying. He's getting the attacks off, and he manages to take down this punch. The buyback from DZBug, where is the sentries? There is the dust, and the flamethrower gonna knock down this Ronin Swanson Invoker. And this Lifestealer, all he needed was that buyback. It looks so dire for him, but they can't actually fight up into him. They can't actually do enough damage up against this overwhelming amount of lifesteal from the Feast. And now they're looking towards the high ground. Yes, you have the buyback on this Slada. You might have to use it now. They're gonna commit Ronin Swansons for now. But 5 up now on the side. Neutral Creep Hotel, did he buy back there? Yes, he did. A buyback from DZBug as well. So a costly fight for them, losing the Aegis. The Fortify is there. I heard a BKB. Reckless trying to blink in with the duel. Gets it onto this. The Lifestealer falling a little lower. DZBug as well. That's the dieback. If he's not careful, Elegance trying to get the Corrosive Haze onto this Lifestealer, but bashed up. Has to be so careful, but the Infest, he's out onto Emmy. They can actually turn it onto this Slada, if he's not careful though, has bought back. This is gonna be a dieback for him. Shang-Ti as well. This is the dieback, but Emmy dies alone, going back in. The overgrowth a bit too little, too late. And that's the dieback of the Ronin Swanson. Banned from acquiring relics that clutch infest to get out of that situation and to take down this Trade Protector as well. They can look straight up, back to the high ground. All still alive on the side of IO Era, and is this the opening that they've been looking for? The comeback? No way, like, it was so hard all along, it looked so painful, but every single piece of the puzzle coming into fruition for the side of IO Era. Are they gonna do it? They're looking towards the end of the game, and the Elegance, where are you? You need the TP back, but 20 seconds. They're looking straight towards your base. Slana, where are you? Your base is falling. Your ages. You don't have Fortify anymore. You have a Trade Protector. You have a hook. You have a duel. But where is it? The hook onto ban from Crime Ranks, but the blink stun immediately. The duel. DZ Bug is gonna fall, but the Aegis. The Ancient is falling. The Dismember Armor. Emmy dies alone. It's gonna finish the game with that Flamethrower. What a goddamn comeback from the side of IO Era. Holy shit. Woo! My god, what a game, what a game. Jesus Christ, holy oh my god, I'm getting a bit of a headache. Would the captains what did I say there? Okay, so gotta check in. Okay, so we'll see whether the captains are agreeable to hop in and do an interview, but if they can't, that's okay. What a game, dude. What DZ Bug just go DZ Bug, dude. This guy, the tenacity of this Sand King is insane actually. This guy just keeps going in even though it's looking dire, even though the support is like out leveling him. This man did it for the squad for sure. It was such a hard game for them to come back from. Yeah, but it looks like both teams don't really want to do an interview, so that's okay. Oh, Emmy dies alone. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I have to see if she's gonna hop over to WLD casters. Yeah, but I don't know about the side of DZ Bug if he wants to. I guess he's. I don't know whether he's the captain or not, but Emmy's here it seems. Emmy's in a voice chat. Oh, Elegance, hello.
What's going on?
Hello, hello. I just need to wait for Emmy to hop in so we can do that. So that was the series.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Let me just wait for Emmy. Okay, hello, Emmy.
Hi.
Hello, hello. Okay, so nice to have both captain. Are you the captain, Emmy?
You know, you talk like that, it's gonna make me my SG accent come out.
Hi.
Okay, yeah, I'm the
Hey,
captain.
don't like that, don't like that. Okay, but
bang, please.
Hey,
Can you
nice.
speak like not? Okay,
shut the hell
I
up.
we like, okay?
Okay.
Sure.
But very well played to both of you guys, of course. Coming out that series 1-1, and okay. So first of all, congrats to both of you all for each taking a game off each other. So very nicely played Dota all around. And first, I definitely have to ask, in that first game, that draft that y'all pulled out on Toxic Angels, is that something you guys practiced, or were you guys just like, yeah, we're just gonna run at them for like 20 minutes?
What?
Yeah, we wanted to try. I feel like we had, like, our hero pools have been pretty small so far in the WLDL, and with the open public matchmaking, you know, we want to try and, you know, show teams that we're not just you know, 10 different heroes or whatever, that we have a little bit of a bigger pool.
Yeah, and I mean,
So
you
we're a
definitely
little more
showed.
unpredictable.
Yeah, you definitely showed that I literally had no idea what that draft was gonna be, and then you guys picked the mid Skyref. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? Yeah, that was some shit. Emmy, actually, I wanted to ask you as well. When you saw the picks come out, especially the third and fourth pick, Tusk and Skyref, what were you guys thinking? Like, what were you guys like? Oh shit, we're gonna get run at. Because in the end, you guys still ended up drafting a rather greedy draft in terms of Tinker and PL. So, what was the mindset you guys had when you saw their picks?
Oh yeah, I like playing Tinker, and I think Kyle likes playing PL. Also, I thought PL was good in the game, and I just like playing Tinker. So like,
Yeah.
you know, like I haven't played in a long time, so comfort pick, you know, like everyone can have fun, right? Laser, pew pew, very fun.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it did look like a pretty good Tinker pick on paper, just because of the fact that, like, like they don't really have catch for it, but then, I mean, Reckless just snowballs in. So, like, literally living up to his name there. But that game one ended up kind of being really rough. On the side of your team, of course, I'm not really familiar with your players, but after that kind of a game where you guys sort of got beat down really hard, how do you sort of reset for the second game? Like, was there like a team talk, or did you guys just go like, okay, you know, their draft, it was just something crazy, we're not gonna let them have that again, because you guys banned the Tusk out in game 2, right? So what was the reset like for your team on IO era?
I honestly, we played, you and I were Dota players, we played many parts before, right? We just turn to each other and go, warm-up game, guys, warm-up game. You know, first game, warm-up game. Obviously, we have to lose, so warm-up game is like that, right?
Yeah. It's not they might just warm up and...
Extremely effective team talk, you know? We know our mental very well.
Yeah, and that's for sure. I especially want to, I don't know whether DZ Bug is listening by any chance, but if he is, I just want to commend him because he had the worst. He literally got completely slapped in the face on this Sand King like 2 games in a row, but he did not stop blink barrel striking like a goddamn madman. So that guy, the resilience.
DZ Bug is a girl.
Oh, okay.
She's my bae. Okay.
Okay. Sorry. I was under the impression that DZ Bug was a dude. I don't actually know the genders of everyone, but yeah, DZ Bug is absolutely insane on this Sand King, and definitely proving why you guys literally first pick it, right? I think, if I'm not wrong, I went to see the Dota buff. It's literally your most picked hero.
Yeah, cause Daisy, she's like fearless. You know, I tell her to go in, she goes in. No questions asked. No, you know, it's her life for everybody else. My life for Ire. You know.
Yeah, it literally is. She does not care at all. She just blink barrel strikes, and a lot of times, that's exactly what you need in this game, right? Because like, who else can go in other than her, and she just does it for the squad. So.
You know, the kind of faith, you know, puts a tear in my eye. You know, and that's the kind of Dota we like to play. You know, the kind that will make you cry. You know.
Okay, I mean, it definitely almost made me cry when I saw that comeback.
It made me cry also. You know.
Actually, like, are you tearing up?
Yeah, but for probably different reasons. You know.
Okay. Wait, Elegance, I do have to ask though, because the second game, I guess this question can go out to both captains, right? Because the second game, it kind of started to look like it was falling into the same recipe, right? Even though it wasn't nearly as chaotic. The side of Toxic Angels, you guys really just ramped up the pressure and kept going. You held them at your mid tower for a good 15 minutes and they just didn't kill it. Like, they just kept coming to the mid, you guys kept getting the kills. I'm sure Waffle was just laughing like all the way to the bank. But from there, how did you guys on the side of our era like sort of like, okay, wait, it's not over yet, like, because things looked horrendous, like things did not look good in the slightest.
I mean, Elegance, you wanna answer first, or? Okay, so like.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, go. Okay, well, basically, if I'm to be like speaking seriously here, my idea is that the Knights will outcarry everybody. Okay. The Timber Soul will also outcarry everybody, but then the Knights will outcarry, like, is the strongest carry in the world. So like, if we just in the game, so if we just keep sending people mid, right? We realize that like the enemy team is like us. They're monkeys, you know. One person come, everybody come. You know. So if you send people here, everybody will come here. Then we keep drawing 5 people here. The Slider will stop farming to come to us. The Patch will stop farming to come to us. The LC will stop farming, stop running at the LS and come at us. So we just keep running mid. And they did come to mid. And the LS, you know, just farm. Eventually, get strong enough to take over. We just have to hold. That's my thinking, at least.
Yeah, elegance. Of course, I bet you guys felt very confident because you were just dragging so many into what looked like basically a meat grinder, right? Because every time they show up, they just die, and then it's just like trades back and forth. And meanwhile, you know, you're coming up, swooping up these kills. But was this part of the plan? Like, did you guys worry about the life stealer at all?
I mean, a little bit. So obviously, we didn't have a lot that went through Rage besides Tree Alt and Dismember. But yeah, I think that was our ultimate demise. We weren't able to take the objectives quite as quickly as we would have liked, given our lead. Lacked a little bit of coordination and potentially physical building damage. So, but yeah, hats off to them. They yeah, like basically from minute 10 on, they five-man snowballed around the map, and it eventually paid off for them.
Yeah, I mean, it looked pretty. It didn't look the cutest all along, but like you do what you gotta do to get the W, right? Like, I mean, the whole time, both you, basically everybody on Toxic Angels was still kind of firing off. But I think the crucial part of that second match was when they just, like you said, they 5-man went to defend the bot lane when it was just the both supports. They managed to kill both supports, and then they just make a beeline straight for the Roche that you're soloing, and then like from there it just kind of starts to feel a bit out of your hands. Did you guys feel that the game was slipping out of your hands at any point? Was there a specific point where you felt like the game was kind of slipping away from you guys, or was it that Roshan steal?
No, I thought we were still good there. But then they took over our side of the jungle with our shrine and stuff, and we were kind of walking in one at a time.
Yeah.
And they were just picking us off, and we couldn't really find that coordinated engagement. So it felt like yeah, when kind of they brought it to that it was kind of back to an even playing field. And
but
yeah.
But like honestly, hats off to like Elegance as well. In the first game, they did a sort of the same thing. They kind of like didn't have it felt like they didn't have a lot of strong like building hitters either, but their ability to just keep, you know, they basically kind of played the same game. They ran at us and they kind of like smoked around us, and I think like they executed it very well. And like you know, like if you think about it, like they don't have a lot of catch for Thinker, they don't have a lot of like AoE for PL, and yet, you know, their ability to just like keep running around and ganking us. It's hard, I think, and it's hard to pull off today a gank based.
Yeah, it's
win.
so that's why it's like it hinges so heavily on the snowball continuing to roll, right? Because if they let it drop for a moment, then it's just like you guys can just farm up and fight back, but which we saw here and there, but like it ended up like they just kept it going and didn't stop. And I think both sides, you guys played some really insane Dota today, so well played to both of you. Thank you for joining me in this interview, but do you guys have anything you guys want to say to any shout outs or like messages to each other, or anything you want to end off with?
Yeah, I want to shout out to my team, you know, Tessa, she's always like grinding it. You know, Daisy, like I said, she's always going for it. Shang-Ti, she's like the heart, you know, she keeps everybody together and she's like always calm. And Kyle, you know, he's the one guy in the team. He's the harem. He's the harem dude in this anime. You know, he keeps, you know, he keeps checking for it. Even though he doesn't really play carry, he keeps playing carry and he keeps going. You know, he puts in his all. You know, very proud of all of them.
Just to be clear, so I don't like misgender people in the upcoming game, it's all 4 of you are female and only banned from acquiring relics is a guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Only PK.
Yeah, his name is Ben. I was calling him that the entire game. But okay. Sorry to cut you off there. Anything else other than the shout out to your team?
No, that's and of course, like shout out to our opponents. Like they played really well. It was fun. You know, I haven't played in a while, and like it was very fun. I think like all of us are getting bored of this patch. So Valve, if you can hear me, please release the patch soon. But you know, my opponent made it very fun. Thank you so much, Elegance. Thanks for spending time with us.
Yeah, Elegance, you got anything to say?
I mean, it would have been nice to get that second win. Kind of go into playoffs on a high note. We have a bye week next week, so we're all done before the bracket comes out. But yeah, no, that was a great series. Hopefully some entertaining Dota, and I think we still have we have some stuff to work on. So we'll try and get that fixed up before the playoff bracket comes out.
Yeah, so well played to both teams, of course. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for the no doubt entertaining Dota. I was kind of like losing my mind at that last bit over there. But thank you so much for joining me. I'm just gonna leave you guys probably to talk to your teams and stuff like that. But thank you. See you guys soon.
Alright.
Thanks for the cast.
Thank you for
Bye.
everything. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Okay, so that wraps up today's. Literally, dude, my goddamn actually my goddamn fucking schedule is I wake up and then like someone's pinging me like, hey, anyone want to cast? I'm like, okay, well, hop on over to the. I'm definitely warmed up now, but like, yeah. So really nice game from both sides, obviously. Man, what a comeback. That shit is the type of thing that makes you like want to play like 10 more games of Dota. I don't know. But very nicely played for the IO era, of course. The comeback ends up being a 1-1, which is a WLDL special. Not surprised there, but yep, very nice little game there. And thank you to everyone who's joining me, for joining me. If y'all stopped by and watched and supported and just hung out, really appreciate you guys here. And sorry for literally misgendering people, because I didn't know that this entire team is like, I just called them he's. Like I thought DZ Bug was a guy, but my bad. I will definitely not make that mistake again. But yeah, entertaining Dota all throughout, and that's just about it, I believe. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll catch you guys soon for the next WLD Cuts.